Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to tune in. How are you coping with this shelter in place? I've had about enough of it. And I can honestly tell you that I really miss working with our key clubbers. I'm sure you do too. Today, I wanted to take some time to review things that we could do online to keep some key club activity going. I will also be sharing some key club news from International as well as the district. So let's start off by talking about online platforms. If you have not held a meeting online, there are a ton of options available. Most of them are free. One of the most popular one right now is Zoom. Their free version allows for 40 minutes of conference time and up to 100 participants. This is a video conference. And lately they have been waiving the 40-minute limit. However, I don't know how long they're going to be doing this. It's a very easy program to use. Participants can join by computer, smartphone, or they could just call in if they wish. For video conferencing, a desktop or a laptop works best because you'll be able to see everybody. When you're on your phone, you don't get the whole layout of all the participants. Google Hangouts are also popular with students. They've been using them for years. It's pretty similar to Zoom. Sometimes the students don't really like Hangouts because they've run into some choppiness with it, but it is pretty easy to use. It is free, and it's a viable option. I've also seen a phone app named Bubble. It is similar to GroupMe, but allows for video conferencing. You could check that out in an app store and see how that would work for you. But the best way to find the right site is to ask your students, because they're probably going to let you know what works best for them. Okay, let's talk about club officers. If your club conducted elections, great. If you have not shared the contact information for your new officers, please do that by visiting the link below titled New Officer Report Link. If you or your club secretary or any other officer can submit these names to us, your lieutenant governor will be able to start communications with your club officers. Now, what if your club did not have the chance to conduct elections prior to school being closed down? Well, I would encourage you to hold elections online. Using your chosen platform, you could have your candidates give their speeches and answer questions. The tricky part comes up. How do you vote? Well, my home club of Wyoming area has been voting online using Google Forms for the last couple of years. It's easy and confidential. And I have a link below to a tutorial. Thanks goes out to my faculty advisor, Damian Murkowski, for putting that tutorial together. Not only can you be holding elections online, but you could be holding meetings as well. If anything, it gives the members the opportunity to see each other and talk about projects that they could do once we're back to normal, or talk about a project that they could be doing while we're in shelter. That's also a possibility. Now, how about last year's officers? Will they be recognized for being distinguished? The answer is yes. Below is a link to the awards and recognition page of our website. Distinguished officers were determined prior to district convention. So look over the list. If you do not see your officers listed and you believe they should be, send me an email and we can discuss it. These officers will be receiving a certificate showing that they are distinguished. Right now, our Kiwanis district office in Harrisburg is shut down, but once they are able to get back into the office, they'll be working on these and getting these certificates sent out. Monthly reports. Our new lieutenant governors are asking clubs to send in monthly reports. Now, I know there's not much going on right now, but I advise them to ask for the reports, simply for the sake of staying consistent and for getting the new secretaries into the habit of submitting reports. By the way, these reports are read by the lieutenant governors. We really start stressing that a couple of years ago. And when this new board comes in for their training, they will be instructed as to the benefits of reading over these reports and then commenting on the activities of the clubs in their newsletters, or just reaching out with an email and congratulating them for the work that's being done. I don't want anybody to think that these reports are just handed in and they go into a black hole and they just disappear. District convention. As many of you know, excuse me, convention was canceled the day before it was scheduled to start. Many of the awards and recognitions were completed prior to convention, thanks to the work of our district board and Kiwanis committee members. They converted everything over to a digital platform. In the link that I mentioned before, you could go and see the winners of all the contests and all of the recognitions. Those clubs that would be receiving a physical award will be receiving that award. It will be shipped out to the school, again, once our office opens up in Harrisburg. There are a couple contests that we anticipated being able to do later on, such as scrapbook, oratorical contest, etc. But being that school is now shut down for the rest of the year, it just looks like we are not going to be able to have those awards and those programs this year. Just as a little information, it was lucky for us at convention that all three of the executive officers, governor, secretary, treasurer, and editor, all of these races were uncontested. As such, the new board will vote to appoint these individuals at our first official meeting, whenever that will be. It's probably going to be online. As of now, these individuals are performing their duties, and your club officers may well have heard from them already. And just a little bit of information. We were very lucky that we were able to refund 95% of the registration cost to all those that registered. And that was thanks to the very generous actions of the Penn Stater. They released us from all contractual obligations when they saw what we were up against. I cannot say enough good things about the Penn Stater Hotel and Conference Center. And we will absolutely be back there in 2020. A quick note about training. I will be training my home club officers, and I'll be recording it. It's going to be probably on Zoom. And once I do this, I will research a way for converting this over to a video and probably put it up on YouTube like I do these messages. That way your club would be able to use that video for training. All they would have to do is view the training at their own leisure, and then they should be ready for their office next year. International, Key Club International Convention. I realize that not many schools were going to be participating in the International Convention. It was to be held in San Francisco. But if you were, take it off your calendar because it's officially canceled. Lastly, I wanted to share a video with you. Kent Julian is a motivational speaker, and he addressed our Key Club convention a few years ago. His message about E plus R equals O is very relevant to the changes, or I should say the challenges that we're facing today. And it's worth a few minutes of your time to give it a look. The link is down below, and it wouldn't hurt to share it with your Key Clubbers. That's all I have for now. I don't know if I'll be having another video prior to the start of school. but it depends on what kind of information is going to be coming in. So I'd like to thank you for your time and attention. Stay safe and sane, and Key Club lives on.